You've landed the job. Awesome. So, how do you go from nailing the interview to thriving in your new organization and your new role in the first 30, 60, and 90 days? Today, I'm giving you that full plan, step by step. Hey, I'm Abby, and welcome back to the Life Work Balance YouTube channel. I am your career and interview coach, and I'm here to help you make this transition as smooth as possible. In this video, we're going to briefly cover acing the interview. Then we're going to cover what you can do in your first 30, 60, and 90 days to truly set yourself up for success in this new role. Stick around for the whole time because this is your playbook to start strong and keep growing. So first, let's cover nailing that interview. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that you've already nailed the interview. But if you are in the process of preparing to get a job, you might already be watching this video just in a proactive way. So let's cover what to do to ace those interviews before we jump into your first couple of days. Tip number 1 is to use the CAR method to help you answer any type of interview question that could be thrown at you. CAR stands for context, action, and result. This type of formula is particularly helpful when you're answering behavior-based or situation-based questions, but the formula as a whole is a great way to give yourself structure to answer any interview question. So for example, if someone were to ask you during an interview, tell me about a time that you solved a problem, your response might sound something like this. At my last job, sales dropped 10%. My task was to fix it. I analyzed data, pitched a new strategy, and we recovered in 2 months. To ensure you ace the entire interview process, you need to set yourself up for success by researching the organization. Check their website, check their social media pages, their blog, and weave the things that are important to them, like their mission statement, their values, things that they've recently accomplished, into your responses to interview questions. It shows that you're enthusiastic, that you're passionate, that you care, and that you're going to be a good fit. You might drop a little line like this into one of your interview answers. I saw your focus on innovation, and I've led projects like this that align with that. And then one of my biggest tips, and I'm always surprised when people don't actually do this, is to ask some questions at the end of the interview. Now, many of you may have found me by watching my videos on questions to ask at the end of an interview. But if you haven't already, check those out next. Asking questions, again, shows that you're enthusiastic, that you are also interviewing them to make sure that you're a right fit for them and they're a right fit for you. Now, while I have many examples of questions to ask at the end of an interview in my other videos, a sample question could be, what's the biggest challenge for this role right now? It shows you're forward thinking, and it could really set you up for success to hit the ground running when you get the job. So that's our quick interview recap. If you haven't already aced your interview, make sure you focus on those things that I've just shared so that you can set yourself up for success to hopefully seal the deal and get that job offer. Now, fast forward. You've got the job offer and it's your first day on the job. It's up to you to start strong on day 1. Day 1 kicks off this exciting new journey and opportunity, and it's time to focus on first impressions. For your first day, if this is in person, come prepared with a notebook and pen. If you're remote, having a note-taking app easily accessible to you to document the same information will be helpful. Document things like people's names, their roles, how they might be interacting with you, processes, and anything else you hear that you think will impact your role moving forward. Be prepared to ask smart questions. Asking things like, what's the top priority for my role this month? Or who should I connect with to get started? Are all great questions that then let you take the initiative on accomplishing those tasks. Make sure you introduce yourself to your new team. It's possible the organization has already set up a welcome meeting where you'll be able to meet other people from your direct team or maybe from even the larger department or company. But if that hasn't been set up for you, figure out who those people are and put yourself on their calendar. While you are sitting in meetings during your first day, start to observe the vibe. How do people talk to one another? Is it more formal or is it more casual? Do they tend to prefer email or instant messages and chats? Take mental notes on these things so that you can start to integrate those preferences into the way that you communicate with them. On your first day, you should also set up your space. Get organized. Organize your desk or your tools so that you can really show that you're ready to roll. If you're in person, get a tour of your space. Identify the closest bathrooms, drinking fountains, maybe even food options. Learn where your manager is located and other people on your team. The goal of this first day is to be proactive, friendly, and curious. Your first day really sets the tone for a great start in this new position. So now let's talk about your first 30 days. This is where you really start to build momentum in your new role. Your first 30 days are all about settling in and proving that you're a keeper. In these first 30 days, you will be expected to learn your role fast. Study any job documents, processes, ask clarifying questions, clear up any acronyms that you're hearing that you're unsure of what they are. You can score a quick win by picking a small task and finishing it early or proactively tackling it without anyone asking you. For example, if you're in person, you might organize a messy file. It takes 20 minutes and it saves everyone time. You also want to make sure that you check in with your boss, your direct supervisor, relatively frequently. This doesn't mean that you check in with them every 15 minutes, but maybe once a week for the first 30 days, you check in with them to ensure that you are on track with their expectations. Ideally, your boss has already set up these weekly check-ins and you've agreed to good timing for this, specific dates and times already on your calendar. But if this hasn't happened, send them a quick message, email or chat, saying something like this: I'd love a quick chat. I'd like to check in to make sure I'm on track with your expectations. During this first 30 days, it's also important to start to build relationships with your coworkers. You will likely end up spending more time with the people at work than you do with the people outside of work. So having strong, positive relationships with the people that you interact with regularly is critical to your success. So say yes to a lunch invite from a coworker, or ask someone that you plan on working with regularly if they'd like to grab lunch with you, or take a walk. Then ask them questions about themselves. These don't have to be personal questions. In fact, asking them for their advice is a great way to build that relationship. People love feeling important and they love helping others. So if you can ask them questions that gets them talking about themselves in a way that is framed with them helping you, that is perfect. In these first 30 days, it's going to be time to start adapting to the culture of the team and the organization. You're going to start mirroring how the team communicates, sending short emails or quick updates, and you're going to want to track your progress. Document the things that you've learned or the things that you've done and that you've accomplished. This documentation process will help build confidence for later. The goal of the first 30 days is to not only learn your job, but to connect with others, to show that you are reliable and that you were the right choice for this new job. You're laying a solid foundation in these first 30 days. You're building your reputation. So now you've made it past the first 30 days and you're into the next 30 days. So this is day 31 to 60. And this is all about gaining traction, stepping up and adding value. In the next 30 days, it's time to really master your core responsibilities. Aim to do your main tasks without any help. Practice these tasks daily and get exceptional at them. It's also time to start spotting some inefficiencies and bringing it up. Look for one thing that you could improve or that the team could improve, and then suggest it at a meeting. Something like, could we streamline X this way? Maybe you could suggest a template for status updates. This cuts prep time and is proactive. And while in the first 30 days you started to build those relationships, it's now time to deepen those relationships. Join in on a group chat, offer to help on a task, or ask what's worked well for you here. And while you're mastering your core tasks, consider taking on a stretch assignment, something that might not be within your normal set of responsibilities, but is ultimately within your wheelhouse. So volunteer for something small but visible. You could say something like, I'd love to try XYZ, if that's okay. And then check in again with your boss if your check-ins have moved from weekly to bi-weekly or even monthly. Something like, I've been here for a month, or I've been here for 2 months. How are things going? Do you have any feedback for me? What's one thing that I could improve? And what's one thing that I'm doing really well? In the first 30 days, I suggested that you track your progress. Now in these first 60 days, hopefully you're starting to document your wins. Note where you've improved and what you've learned, and prepare for that 90-day review that most companies hold. Ultimately, the goal in these first 60 days is to be dependable and show how you're contributing. Show that you're not just coasting in this new job. You're buckling down and you're doing the work. And now you've made it past your first 2 months and you're in the final 30 days of your 90-day start to this new job. Days 61 to 90 are really your opportunity to stand out and set the stage for more. Ideally, in these first 90 days, you're able to deliver a big win. Now, it will look different for everyone in every position in every industry, but hopefully you've had the opportunity to finish a key project or deliverable. Maybe you've even pitched a big, new, bold idea. For example, maybe you've redesigned a process to save 2 hours a week and you are able to present it by documenting and quantifying your results. During these final 30 days in your first 90-day time frame, hopefully you have the opportunity to train or share. Show a coworker a new trick that you've mastered or a document or process that you've created. Continue to seek feedback from your direct supervisor by asking for that specific feedback. What's one area that I can grow or focus on in this role? And then act on it fast. Continue to check in with your direct supervisor to make sure that you are on track. Hopefully at this point, you understand your role and you're starting to get much more involved in the regular daily activities in the organization. It might be time to set a new goal, tie it to the organization, and share it with your direct supervisor. Something like, I'd love to help improve XYZ by next quarter. And then continue to build relationships and network. Maybe you already know your new team relatively well. So maybe it's time to chat with a leader in your organization. Again, asking people for their advice and their personal experiences goes a long way. Many people are willing to help others, especially if they get to share a little bit about their own experience. Towards the end of your first 90 days, hopefully you've proven your worth and you've planted some seeds for your own professional growth. Promotions start here. So as you reflect on your first 90 days, list your top 3 achievements, things that you've accomplished in these first 90 days. Document these and save them for your review or your next raise or promotion conversation. So you've aced the interview, you start strong on day 1, you build momentum in your first 30 days, you gain traction by day 60, and you're shining at day 90. So what's your next job goal? Or what's your day 1 plan? Drop it in the comments box below. I love receiving comments, even general questions, comments, thoughts, and ideas. So please put your thoughts in the comments below. I'll do my best to respond to each of you individually. And just know that if I'm not able to respond to you quickly, the things that you share in the comments below will likely help someone who's experiencing something similar in the future. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And remember to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can continue to receive life-work balance advice delivered directly to you every week. I'm branching out with more career tips. Like my next video is going to be about winning your boss over. So I'll see you then, and let's keep growing together.